Good day, everyone. I appreciate you all joining in from across the globe here. We're going to be talking about Agile this morning, one of my favorite topics. I'm going to take a slightly different view of it and see how it is being catered to and being looked at in the non-software world. So, those of us who have exposure to Agile would typically perceive it to be in the software space, which for good reason, that's where it's really taken off and built quite a presence. But at the same time now, there is a need for seeing our other projects and seeing whether we can leverage some of the benefits and the value of the Agile Manifesto. Can it be used in other industries, be it construction, healthcare, nonprofit projects and things of that nature. And I'm going to walk you through some of the top 10 reasons of seeing where the non-software projects can also benefit from leveraging Agile. And I'm also going to mention to you some specific case studies where non-software projects have benefited from Lean and Agile principles. Alrighty, so this is our agenda. We're going to quickly look at a history introduction of Agile project management, and then we're going to step right into discussing the strategies for leveraging Agile in non-software projects. So a little bit about me. As Jessica said, I have had the opportunity to travel across North America in the last 6-7 years doing consulting work as an OPM3 consultant. Did some work in government Newfoundland. So these are some not so beautiful scenes, I guess, from Newfoundland, but it's a gorgeous part of the world up in northeast Canada. And I've also had occasion to go in Saskatchewan, very flat lands. Spent a lot of time in Southern California, of course. I'm doing some work in Dubai. I'm a judge there for some of these international awards. I'm doing some research in Paris right now, in France, with the Schema Business School. I'm going to be talking about a couple of professors there who are actually looking at Agile in the non-software space. Rodney Turner and Paul Gardner, a couple of my colleagues who are doing some work out of Schema Business School. And I've also been doing some work out of Doha, Qatar, in the Arabian Gulf, and Vancouver. So these are some of the areas where, my Agile travels have taken me in the last few years. So obviously, when we think of Agile, we tend to think of the typical startup headquartered in Northern California. That's what you would think, right? Some sort of space type of organization. Like this is an edutech, company, NDAMe, where I happen to be an advisor for, and they obviously would fit the norm of what you would think. You would think that they would leverage Agile. Obviously, they're doing prototyping. They are, involving all stakeholders in their feedback loop. They're looking to shorten the time to market to deliver their product. Again, a technology product. They're very adaptive to market changes. So an organization like NDAMe is one where many of us would feel that Agile really fits in perfectly, right? But there are other places, as I said, where Agile can be used, in that being in the non-software space. I want to go through 10 of the sort of key lessons that we can get from Agile that would apply to the non-software world as well. The first thing is decomposition. We want to break things down. So, the PMBOK guide out of the PMI teaches this concept of decomposition right up front. Chapter 5 is totally loaded with the concept of decomposition, as is Chapter 6, the scope and time chapters, where we are taught that breaking things down into smaller pieces makes it more manageable. In my class, I frequently in my lectures, I will mention to students and participants that decomposition enables us to, accomplish amazing things. I would venture to guess that the way the pyramids were built so effectively was because of decomposition. When I travel to Dubai, I'm amazed at the world's tallest building. The world's tallest building that is in Dubai is built by the world's most unskilled labor, if you think about it, right? And not a very educated labor force. typically from the third world. Some of them may not even be able to, I'm guessing, maybe not even able to read and write. Yet they are able to put together and build the world's most amazing building. It's because of decomposition. Senior management, project managers, technical experts were able to break the work down into more manageable pieces, and there you have it. The world's tallest building has been built. So, decomposition allows us to do amazing things. Again, there's this comment about, how do you eat an elephant? Of course, one bite at a time. You prioritize tasks. You work on the most important ones first. That's what we learn in Agile, right? Whether it be Scrum or FDD or XP or Crystal, any of these methodologies require us to prioritize and focus on the important ones first, the value-driven delivery concept. Again, we deliver the smallest, most valuable items as soon as possible. This can apply to non-software projects as well. Get feedback and adjust our plans as needed along the way. So these are principles that have been used by, this particular principle is being used not just in the software world. There's a venture capital company called OpenView Venture Partners. And they use Scrum in projects in management, in sales, in marketing, in finance, in customer support. So they're doing, all kinds of value-add projects. They're performing due diligence using this approach of breaking things down into smaller pieces. And a key principle that we learn out of the Agile world is to focus on outcomes instead of just outputs. So this one is an important one. I want you to think about it for a second. We want to focus on outcomes instead of outputs. So, we many a times make the mistake of measuring, quantity as opposed to quality, right? And what we really need to understand here is, instead of how many features did we release, the question is, out of these features, what impact did we make? Just because we released 150 features in the last 6 months doesn't necessarily equate to valuable outcomes. So the focus in the Agile world is really on what impact did we have on the customer's lives? What constructive, positive impact did we have? And that's something that, again, transcends beyond just the software world, obviously. So we want to focus on minimizing output while maximizing the outcomes. This is where we will talk a little bit about eliminating waste as well a little later. What things can we do to have the biggest impact in our customers' lives? Moving on, we want to make our work visible and transparent, right? Again, a very good Agile principle that can be used across the board. It's a good idea to have some sort of physical task board. The military has been doing this since the 1950s, 1940s. Kanban-style boards are there. In Port Hueneme here in Southern California, I've seen them, and they've been used for ages. You could have here's a sample of a task board being used by a family to run their home effectively. So we want to create columns for things to do, work in progress, completed tasks. We don't want to create too many categories to confuse the choices, but we want to be able to communicate openly, right? We want to be able to collaborate in the open. We want to make our work transparent, visible. We want people to appreciate the work we're doing. This is great advertising and marketing, frankly speaking, for people to realize what we're doing. And it's an opportunity for people to give us feedback. If we're missing something, if something's not is obviously amiss in our list, then the fact that we are being transparent allows others to quickly step in and provide us feedback. So this is being used. This particular task board, I've seen, interestingly, some nonprofits adopt this